Good morning, everybody, to day 5 of our Winning Mindset Success Series. And I'm telling you, today is going to be another incredible show, but this whole week has just been off the charts. I don't know about you, but one of the things that I'm going to do as soon as we get the recording for today's show, I've got Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. I'm going to put all of them together and I'm going to listen to those shows 30 minutes over and over and over and over again. And I'm going to do it consecutively. And let me tell you the reason why I'm going to do that is because each one of our guests that we have had on the show this week has experienced success and they have shared their story, and you can hear the strength, the confidence, the perseverance in these people's voices, but you can also see and feel what their experience along their journey has done. And that's really what they're sharing with us, and they've imparted with us this week, and I'm so blessed. So we want to welcome everybody to the Winning Mindset Success Series, where you and this year, our 2 mantras are going to be play bigger, which we know what that means by now. But you know what? We're going to be saying it over and over and over again, because how many of you are like me and you know something, but you need reminding on a consistent basis? We need to be reminded that what we are doing right now in our lives and the level that we are playing at right now, it doesn't matter where we are, we can play bigger. I am even challenging people, here we are at the very beginning of 2017, that we have 11 and a half months that we can make so many things happen. So whatever the goals were that you set out for yourself in 2017, here's my challenge: make them even bigger. Make them even bigger. Bigger than what you thought, bigger than what you planned, bigger than what you anticipated. Because my second mantra for the year, come ready to receive and you'll leave ready to achieve. Those of us that have gotten on every morning this week, give yourself a big pat on the back, because that's amazing. Those of us that are listening to this recording and we're listening to them over and over and over again, give yourself a pat on the back. But what you're doing is you have made a conscious decision in your life to be present and come ready to receive. And you are going to leave ready to achieve in such a bigger way. Some of the things that Brian said yesterday, and I posted on my Facebook page, and I'm going to post, but take these nuggets that you're learning and post on social media, share with your friends, tag your friends, tag the videos. I didn't do a video Facebook Live today because I'm doing a Facebook Live at 1:00 Central, where I'm going to be interviewing an attorney, and she just finished a book and she's launching her book, and that's going to be an incredible interview as well. That will be on my Facebook Live. Share that. But what we want to do is playing bigger is playing with other people, collaborating with other people. It's not just about ourselves. So we want to see examples and we want to share examples. But here's some of my takeaways from Brian's call and show yesterday. Number 1, my biggest takeaway that impacted me in a huge, huge way, and I will remember this the rest of my life, is you have to be your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest fan. And it made me think, how many times have you heard people, and maybe you've done this yourself, where you have doubt? You're like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I have the talent. I don't know. Well, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to know that you do have the talent. Just because your talent might not be as refined as somebody else's talent doesn't mean you don't have the talent. That was one of the things I loved so much about Laura's call on Tuesday when she said she surrounds herself with talent. She didn't say she surrounds herself only with successful people. She said she surrounds herself only with talented people, because talented people are going to refine those skills and they are going to become successful. So remember, it doesn't matter what a person's position is, how much money a person makes. Talent is all around us. There's so much wasted talent. I can promise you right now, you're sitting here listening to this and you have so much talent that you're not even aware of, which takes me back to Charles's show on Monday when he said he didn't even know he could do the high jump until he tried. There's so much talent within each and every one of us we don't even know because we haven't even tried. So you have to be your biggest fan. Like Brian Glenn said, you have to be your biggest fan. Don't listen to the haters. And then one of the things I think is so important that he said as well is you have to stand out. And one of the ways you stand out is by doing more. You stand out by doing more. So whatever it is that you are doing, whatever it is, do more. And that's how you're going to stand out. If you're in a position where you need to be seen, do things where you're seen more. If you're in a position where you need to be heard, do things where you are heard more. If you're in a position where your livelihood is 100% related to making sales, do more calls, do more exposures, do more of whatever you need to do to succeed in your industry or following your passions, and you will stand out. And then another nugget from yesterday's call is when Brian said, expect to fail every day. And I loved that. I loved that because how many of you have the perception that you have to be perfect? Well, we're not perfect and we're never going to be perfect. If you have the expectation that you're going to fail every day, when you do, you're just going to say, okay, well, that's what was going to happen today. But what's going to happen is you're going to start to succeed. It's your mindset. So what we've been discussing this week is mastering the winning mindset. And our topic today is never quit. So, I've got a 7-step process because that's just what I do. Step number 1 is master the winning mindset. And 5 areas that are vitally important are the 5 areas that we've discussed this week. Number 1, you have to decide to win. Once you truly make the decide to succeed and to win, then you are going to do the effort, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter if it takes a year, if it takes 5 years, if it takes 10 years, if it takes 20 years. It doesn't matter because you've made the decision to win. And I'll share some stories of very successful people and what it took for them to win. Now, we're so fortunate. I'll tell you this quote here from Pitbull that says, patience, passion, and perseverance equals success. That's what success looks like. Patience, passion, and perseverance. And I'm going to tell you right now, our guest for today's call is all about those 3 things: patience, perseverance, and he is here to tell us a little bit about his story, a little bit about his mindset of never quitting and what he's been able to do. So, Byron, are you on?
I am on.
Awesome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Now,
I am so excited to be on with you guys. It's awesome to be on a winning team. It's awesome to be talking to people that's going places, that's doing things, and making a difference. And I'm over here doing a career day at Prosper ISD, and I'm talking to these 8th graders this morning. and I am so fired up. I'm like you can't get excited unless you score touchdowns in the NFL. So I know what that's like. I know how I'm experiencing that. And so when God put you in places and set you in front of young people, I'm excited about that. But I'm also excited about being on this call, being on this this assignment that you guys are doing for us, motivating people, making people and giving people a way out of their situations.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so yes, I'm excited.
So Byron, because we know Byron, let me tell you what, y'all Google Byron. I mean, his career in the NFL is phenomenal. His career post the NFL is phenomenal. You know, he's president of the NFL Players Association here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But what he does for kids, like he just said, is phenomenal. But it all starts with examples. And your mindset, Byron, what I want you to do is kind of take us back to where you started when you made the decision that you were going to give everything you had to football, and that perseverance that you had about never quitting, and some of the stumbling blocks that you've had along the way and how you overcame them.
Right, right. Well, one of the things we talked about, we wanted to entitle this Perseverance Leads to American Dreams. I mean, that to me right there, my junior year in high school, I got caught drinking alcohol with two other guys. And we had to run 50 miles. And doing those 50 miles, I was the only one that told the truth. I said, Coach, I'm guilty. I drunk at the track meet. And at the high school, you had to run 50 miles. And so he said, Byron, you have to run 50 miles, and each mile under 7-minute mile. So I started that Monday and ran the first 5 miles, and then ended the first week and ran 25 miles. And then on the second Monday, when I ran that 28-mile, the coach said, Byron, you didn't make that mile. I said, Coach, I made that mile. But when I ran that, I dug in, I wanted to quit, and some just told me, you can't quit. So when I ran that extra mile, that's when God told me that I was going to play pro football for 12 years. And so the second Friday, I finished the 50th mile. And 2 weeks later, the coach came up to me and said, Byron, you know what? You made that mile. I was just going to see if you were going to quit. And so that right there solidified my start of what I believed in. I knew I was going to play pro football. And then I went to UTA, and I broke my ankle my senior year, and I was still able to get drafted in the top 300 of all over 10,000 seniors coming out of college. I was able to get drafted. And so that's solidified on my destiny. I was persevering. And so you're going to get tested. I was telling these students, each day you walk into these classrooms, you're going to get tested. Each day you go home, you're going to get tested. People are going to ask you, can you come and hang out with me? Can you smoke this? Can you do that? And then you got to be true to yourself, because what you have is you. And the most powerful thing, you know, I was always the fastest guy on every team that I played on, but my mind and my body and how I conditioned myself was more important, because I knew I couldn't play football for a limited time. But then I knew that my mind, the education that I had to study harder, and I always wanted to be competitive. So what you're talking about is living a dream, because you have to picture yourself. You have to put a plan of action together. You have to put a blueprint together, because your purpose and your potential is unlimited. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about y'all, because we know that each day we wake up, each year we you know, starting this new year, 2017, and you guys are starting this program about being excited, about being around the right people, having these entitlements. And that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. Because dreams is a seed, a possibility planted in our soul, in which calls you to pursue what? A path of realistic value and realistic of goals, and being realistic about what it is that you want to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about y'all. That's what I love about being on this team.
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, that's amazing when you think about what that coach did. How old were you when you had to run those 50 miles?
I was 16 years old.
Okay, so this is amazing. So it's 16 years old. You've got a coach. And this is huge, because this is what we have to do to people. You know, as parents, we've got to do this for our kids. As good people, we need to do this for other children, for good friends. We got to do this for our friends and family. But that coach cared so much about Byron at age 16 that he was like, I'm just gonna test him to see if he's gonna quit.
Yes.
And you didn't quit. And that's,
And
you know,
you know what else, Jen? He
yeah,
gave me, he said, Byron, I see so much potential in you. It's amazing. He would give me $20 every 6 weeks for making the AB on the road. So every 6 weeks, I would run to the gym and he'd give me $20. And every time I see kids, I always give out a $20 because it reminded me of not only athletics, he helped me in the classroom.
that's
Yes.
right.
So, yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you think about, so that one example in your life when you didn't quit at age 16 solidified your path, because you could have easily argued and said, Coach, no, I did make that mile, and argue and quit. And if you would have quit then, the rest of your destiny, 12 years in the NFL, just that experience, how being able to be in the NFL has allowed you to have so much influence of good over all these kids and over all these people that you meet. Byron could have quit right then and there. And if he would have done that, his story, we wouldn't be talking about it right now. And it makes me think of how many people are at the point where they could make a decision to quit or make a decision to persevere and continue on. We have to make the decision to persevere and continue on. We just have to. So,
Right.
after you've left the NFL, well, I'll just say in the NFL, what are some of your biggest lessons that you learned with your experience in the NFL?
Well, one of the things I learned that there's no I in team. There's one I in champion. There's two I's in championships. So that means that you got to be around the right people. You got to be around inspiring people, encouraging people, people with integrity, and people that don't keep you inspired and lifted up. And that's what I love about you, Jen. You are always on the cutting edge of motivating and inspiring people. And so you have to find people that gonna be helping you, lifting you, and supporting what you're trying to do. You can't do anything by yourself.
Right.
That's
And that is, that's so true. You can't, and that's my mantra is for the years, I really want people to realize to play bigger is playing with good people. You can't do it by yourself. You
right.
cannot. It takes a team. So,
Right.
what is so amazing to me, and I know you're there at the school and you got to jump off here in a minute, but what's so amazing to me is what you're doing with these kids afterwards. And you do have some charities. I mean, you've got, and we're going to put that up on the screen, Byron Williams Best Wishes Foundation. Share with us what your charities are doing, what your vision is, and how we can help you play bigger and help touch more kids.
Yes. Well, one of the things I was doing, I was going around these schools and I was speaking and doing locker room speeches and stuff like that. And I started finding these coaches start saying, Byron, we have a increase in homeless kids. And so we want to start helping homeless kids, filling the gap, and then helping with scholarships. So I'm starting the Best Wishes Foundation. I'm reopening up a Boys and Girls Club in Texarkana, where I grew up, because they don't have no after-school program. So, I just think there is a need. We also do a lot of football camps. So we always, I'm always in that space and that gap of talking about, and how can I help? We gave out 3,000 pairs of shoes, because kids love shoes, and they on the cutting edge of, hey, how I look and all that. But I knew that because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be cool too, but just to show them that you love them and you got to help. So we started the Best Wishes Foundation to help fill some of the gaps in some of the schools and some of the people that you can do things for. I never talk about all that, but there's
but what can we do? I mean, is there a website that people can go to make donations?
Yes, and we are changing two websites that I have with bwresources.com, but bestwishesfoundation.org. Bestwishesfoundation.org will
Okay.
be the website that we'll be able to fill the gap and start helping the needs of our young people.
Yeah, I just think, when I listen to Byron and I listen to you, I just think that perseverance and that never quit. He never quits on anything. Another thing I think is real important is talking about the patience. It takes time. We had Mama Shu on, who is a community organizer, and one of the things that she said is, if you knew every step along the journey, it wouldn't even be fun. I mean, you can't know every step along the journey, but you can't stop the journey. We don't even know how far along we are on the journey.
Right.
And so that perseverance and never quitting and just keep on going. But I know you're a big faith-based person.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about, one thing I wanted to mention, a lot of people are on a destination, but it's different when you're on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
The destination, you can go 5 miles to a destination, but a journey is a lifetime.
That's right.
Or you can go for a lifetime. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the journey.
That's so true. And that's so profound in so many different ways, because so many people are just focused on a destination. They're focused on a position. They're focused on a title. They're focused on a certain amount of money. They're focused on a rank. They're focused on a destination. They're not focusing on the journey. And that's the most important thing, is the journey. So when, that just puts everything in perspective, because if you're focused on the journey, the thought of quitting never pops into your mind. It never pops into your mind, because there is no end to your journey. You just continue on.
Right.
And I think that's going to be my biggest takeaway from today with Byron, is if you're focused on a destination and not the journey, then quitting comes to your mind. But if you're focused on the journey, it never comes. And, that's one thing that I love so much about Byron. When Byron sits and says that he loves being around positive people, and that's one thing that's been true for this entire week, is all these amazing, incredible people have said they only surround themselves with positive people. So in your lifetime, and I know we're getting close to the end here, but in your lifetime, who are some of those positive role models other than your coach? And what was the impact that they made? What was the lesson that they taught you?
Well, right now, I'm real heavy in church. And so my pastor is one of the guys I talk to from time to time. And I had a pastor this week call me from South Carolina.
And what did he say? Oh, I think we might have lost. Byron, let's see. Maybe Byron's got his phone on mute, but I've got Alla right here, and Alla's going to check out to see where he is. But I will tell you, we
making a difference.
Okay, there you go. Oh man, he's going in and out. Okay, what we're going to have to do is, I'm telling you, when Byron's going to tell us the story, and he's going in and out, I know, and I so apologize, but Byron is going to tell us the story. And when we get this story, one of the things that we're going to do, because we've just had such phenomenal response for our series this week, is we're going to do a Facebook Live. Okay, hold on. I think I hear him.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. We can hear you now. Okay, so your pastor from South Carolina called.
Yeah, the pastor from South Carolina called, and for people to just call you and ask you, hey, I want to ask you about, I want to get your wisdom on this. I want to get what your thoughts are about this and that. And so that's important to me, because when somebody see the integrity and believe in what you're doing and everything, I try to apply everything to Scripture. So once you can apply some things in your life to Scripture, then the focus point and know the direction that you can take. So typically, I always try to ask even former players that played in the NFL and some NBA players or whoever, doctors. I have a lot of people in my circle that I talk to all the time. I have a guy named Skip who owned a Western store. He called me the other day and just said, Byron, I just wanted to see how you doing because he's one of my mentors. So you to have people that can mentor you as well as you mentor them. And that way, when you have the accountability factor built in, then there's no way that you can fail. No way.
That's right. And that is one thing that Byron is to us, is he's a mentor to us and he's an example. And I can't thank you enough, Byron, for jumping on. I'm telling you, he's so busy. He is so busy. And he said, I will step out and I will jump on the phone with you ladies, because it means so much to him to make a positive impact on so many people's lives. So Byron, thank you so much. We love you, and we're here to support you in any and every way we can as well.
Okay, thank you guys. I love that too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
So, one of the things that we are going to do is we are going to do a Facebook Live. And it probably won't be today because I'm going to be doing the interview, but we're going to do a Facebook Live where we go over all of the amazing nuggets that we received this week. But here is our call to action for today, because remember, we want to fill our brains with goodness daily. I mean, daily. And here's the clue. The more goodness you fill your brain with on a daily basis, the more good, talented people that you surround yourself with on a daily basis, the quicker you are going to succeed. It is just that simple. It's just that easy. You've got to surround yourself with good, talented people. You've got to make the decision that 2017, you are going to play bigger because you deserve it and you can. Not only do you have the ability, you have the responsibility to play bigger in your life. You're going to have faith and patience that things aren't going to happen overnight. They're not supposed to happen overnight. You don't want it to be instantaneous, like Mama Shu said. If it's instantaneous, it's built on sand, and it can that quickly leave and be washed away. You're going to persevere and realize that if quitting in life ever comes across your mind, you're focusing on a destination and not the journey. Man, this week has been phenomenal. It has been phenomenal. We're going to do this every 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to do Facebook Lives because we're committing to playing bigger. So for our call to action today is screenshot the slide I commit to. And I've just got to give a shout out to Rita Wortham, who is a graphic designer. She's a photographer. She is a great dear friend. She's an incredible mother. She's got 2 boys that are really men, but let me tell you what, 2 of the best young men I've ever met. One of her sons is probably going to be playing in the NFL pretty soon himself. But she's made these slides for us. She is done so much for us, and I've got to give a big shout out to my right-hand woman over here, Olive Dog, that has done so much, because we are playing bigger, and playing bigger means playing with other people. So what are you going to commit to? Your call to action. I commit to what? Don't let this die. We're not going to let playing bigger die in 2017. We're just going to keep coming at you, keep coming at you, keep coming at you. We're going to love you. We're going to believe in you. We're going to inspire you. We're going to motivate you. We're going to help you. And we're never, ever going to stop, because we are focused on the journey and not the destination. So until we meet again, which will be soon, be big because you can be big. Be bold because you've got a voice that's ready to be heard. And most importantly, be you, because there is no other you on this planet. Bye-bye, everybody. We love you.